Hello everyone, Future Jester here. As you can see, this video was already uploaded, but the YouTube algorithm didn't like that you can see the cards that they show during the trial, which is public information, but I'm not gonna fight with them. They denied my appeal to re-upload it. They just, as you can see down here, they eliminated the video, so I couldn't even edit it and leave it like that. So this is a re-upload of that video. And that's it. I just wanted to keep it here so we can have the whole trial on file. Yeah, I'll take you to past Jester to bring you into this video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Darrell saga. On today's episode, we're gonna finish day 8. We're gonna finish with the examination of Detective Carpenter, the one that interviewed Darrell in the holding room. But before that, I just want to take a second and thank everyone for being here. And not only that, I'm really gonna thank you for being here. It's always humbling to me that you take the time to click on one of my videos and just sit down and watch it. I still don't get it. I still think it's surreal that we're over 2,100 subscribers. I don't believe it. And I hope that I can continue making videos for you guys. And I always try to put a smile on your face and remind you that you matter, that you're great, that life is good. And if I can ask you a favor, I will ask that you go to someone today and tell them that you care about them. Could be your son, could be your husband, could be your wife, a long friend that you haven't talked to in a while and you've been meaning to call them. Just take a minute of your day, because you never know what the other person is going through. They might need it, and they may not even know that they need it. So please do that for me. All right, let's get into the video.
Go ahead and call your next witness then, please.
Detective J. Carpenter.
Thanks, Trey.
There it is.
The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Sure. My name is Detective J. Carpenter. First name spelled J-A-Y. Last name spelled C-A-R-P-E-N-T-E-R.
A lot of carpenters in Wisconsin. Is that where Sabrina Carpenter is from? Now I have the doubt.
Go ahead.
Sir, how are you employed?
I am employed as a detective with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you been in law enforcement?
18 years.
Have all those years been with the City of Waukesha Police Department?
Yes.
How long have you been detective?
Almost 5 years.
Direct your attention to November 21st of last year. Were you working on that day?
Yes, I was.
Were you working the parade?
I had actually been part of the parade. I marched in the parade as part of our Honor Guard unit and had completed my duty before the incident commenced.
So this is the City of Waukesha annual holiday parade?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the second officer that went through the parade and then had to gather himself and go back in after the fact.
And you say that after you finished the parade route, where did you go?
So I went back to the City of Waukesha Police Department after I completed my part of the parade.
And did you receive information while you were at the City of Waukesha Police Department regarding something that had happened at the parade?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer, sir.
I did. I changed out of my Honor Guard uniform and I was confronted by Officer Daniel Malo. He was working as a desk officer for the department that day. Officer Malo explained that a vehicle had driven through the parade route down in downtown Waukesha, that there were approximately 30 to 40 people down, many severely injured, some possibly deceased, and that there was also an officer shooting involved in the whole event.
What did you do as a result of receiving that information?
At that point, I went on duty and began heading towards the downtown area.
Where did you go specifically?
So when I headed out, there was a lot of radio traffic. It was very chaotic, very confusing. It was certainly like nothing I've ever experienced before, as far as the radio traffic. The event kind of began to mold into two different forms at that point, in that.
Yeah, and I want to comment on that because can you imagine the whiplash that is that 1 second you just finish the parade, you watch the entire route, all the people there happy, smiling, getting candy, and then you go back to the same place that you were before, and it's a completely different scenario. It must be shocking. Like mentally, it has to be very shocking.
There were numerous officers calling for ambulances in the downtown area for the injured, but dispatch was also beginning to provide information that there was an individual in the area of the 500 block of Elizabeth Street, which is about a quarter of a mile off the parade route, that was loitering, and it was believed that may be the suspect, so I headed in that direction.
Now, prior to heading in that direction, did you have any information as to why this person in that area would be a suspect?
Objection leading.
Overruled. He may answer.
How is that leading? She was just asking the question.
Yes, ma'am. A description had been provided of a possible suspect, and the descriptions being provided by the dispatch of the individual now in this area were comparable, nearly identical to the descriptions I was hearing of the driver from the parade incident.
What did you do then?
As I was searching the area, I heard over the police radio that officers from a separate jurisdiction had come in contact with the suspect and that he was in custody. I proceeded over to Elizabeth Street, where the suspect, who was identified in the investigation as Darrell Brooks, was...
Very important thing that he said right there. He was, during the investigation, it was discovered that it was Darrell Brooks.
Already in custody.
Okay. Now, you stated that the information that you initially received with regard to the person involved's physical description, do you recall what that was?
Objection leading.
Overruled. He may answer.
Information that I heard over police radio was an African-American male, blue jeans, and a red t-shirt.
And this is what I don't get about his, like, leading is one of the easiest objections to get. Like, it's just the matter in which the question is asked. Like, if Leslie asked the officer, did he was wearing a red shirt and blue jeans before anything about what was wearing was brought up, that is leading. If he's just asking what he was wearing, that's not.
So what did you do after receiving this information about a potential person in custody?
I responded to the immediate area. Mr. Brooks at that point was already in custody. I don't recall if he was outside a squad being searched, but he was handcuffed and already effectively in custody at that point. He was placed in the rear of a city Waukesha police car, where he was taken into custody for loitering, as well as being a suspect at that point as the operator of the vehicle that went through the parade route.
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name, for the record.
No one referred to you, Brooks. And also, this is one of the things that he's going to have the most issue with, that they took him in for loitering and also for being a suspect. He doesn't agree with that. He thought Darrell Brooks in his mind right now is thinking that they cheated him, that they manipulated him into going into custody for no reason.
Overruled. Your answer stands. Go ahead. Next question.
At the time that you made contact with this individual, did you have any information about the vehicle that had been used during the parade?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
Yes, a red SUV. That was actually a red Ford Escape, specifically.
And did you have any information if that car had been located at the time that you went to the Elizabeth Street address?
Yes, it had already been located.
Did you have any information about that red SUV prior to going to Elizabeth Street?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled.
The information I recall having is that the vehicle was parked over on Maple Avenue, which is about 2.5 to 3 blocks west of Elizabeth Street, where Mr. Brooks was located and taken into custody.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled.
Did you have the opportunity to speak with an individual who was identified as Darrell Brooks at
Objection.
that
I don't
Elizabeth Street
consent to being
address?
called that name.
Go ahead, you may answer.
He has to interrupt. Like, this is one of the longest examinations that they are. He has a lot of paperwork to go through to confront Mr. Carpenter. So he has to interrupt the most that he can so he can continue reading the papers.
I don't believe I spoke with him at that address, but Mr. Brooks was transported to our substation located on Les Paul Parkway in the city of Waukesha, where I had opportunity to speak with him.
Did you see him at the Elizabeth Street address?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you see him in the court today?
I do.
I'd ask the court to ask Mr. Brooks to remove his mask.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
Can you identify?
Again, do you see that? When they ask him to remove his mask, he does it. They say, Mr. Brooks, please remove your mask. Can we ask Mr. Brooks to remove his mask? And he doesn't object to that. He even gives the you're welcome nod to the judge. Look at that.
Remove his mask.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
Can you identify him by where he's seated and what he's wearing?
Yes, ma'am, Mr.
At least be consistent in what you're doing. If you're going to object to that name, be consistent throughout. Not just once when you remember.
Brooks is seated to my left, wearing a dark-colored suit jacket, multicolored tie, surgical mask on his face, shaved head, and he did have a beard at the time he took his mask off.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
It will reflect. Thank you.
Sir, as you see Mr. Brooks today, does he
And no objection to him being identified. That's odd.
look different than he did on November 21st of last year?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
It's relevant because you shaved and you shaved both your beard and your head. So you look different from then.
Yes, ma'am.
How?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled.
At the time of the incident, Mr. Brooks had longer hair, a braided style hair that probably went midway down his back.
How about facial wise?
He had a beard at that time, but it's a little bit shorter now. It was a little bit thicker and longer at the time.
So you stated that the defendant was transported to a substation?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. And do you recall who transported him?
Specialist Mark Howard.
Did you follow Specialist Howard to the substation?
Yes, I did.
Upon either, should I say, at the scene, did you obtain items that were located on the defendant's person?
Yes, I did.
What did they consist of?
So the items I received that were on Mr. Brooks' person at the time of his arrest, there were several items. One of them was a Wisconsin photo identification card. So it had a picture on the ID card that I recognized as being Mr. Brooks based on the fact I was with him at this time. The name on that identification card was Darrell Edward Brooks Jr., his date of birth being February 21st, 1982. There was also a green Wisconsin Quest card with Mr. Brooks' name on it, a silver American Express debit or credit card with Mr. Brooks' name on it, 2 Visa debit cards, one black, one white, both which had Mr. Brooks' name on it.
Why so many different cards? Like in my wallet right now, I have my debit card, my credit card, and my food card. Those are the 3 cards that I have that I need to be carrying around. I also have the one for the bus. So Why so many debit and credit cards?
And then there was a Georgia EBT card which had the name of Mr. Brooks's girlfriend on it.
Other than the identifying information that you just testified to, is anything else turned over to you that was removed from Darrell Brooks?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name and it's leading.
Overruled.
It's not.
You may answer.
Yes, ma'am. There was $4 cash, but also a Ford ignition key.
Now, you stated that there was a suspect vehicle that had been located.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any information prior to your discussions with the defendant about who the owner of that vehicle was?
Objection.
So he only had $4 cash. So enough to barely a gallon of gas. And he didn't even put it in. So he had the exact money to go back home, basically. And I don't know how many, I don't know the prices of gas, but here in California, that's barely a gallon.
Leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, I did.
And who was the owner of that vehicle?
A female by the name of Dawn Woods.
And do you recall what her address was?
Objection. Relevance.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
4014 North 19th Street in the city of Milwaukee.
So 19th Street, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Objection. Leading witness.
Overruled.
He just said what he said. And also, that's the place where the lift was going to take you if you got in it. He was like 10 minutes late.
The answer may stand.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 172. That's going to appear on the screen in front of you. Before we do that, these identifiers that you located for Darrell Brooks, did you take a picture of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name for the 100th time.
For the 100th time, overruled. No one cares about that, Brooks.
Overruled.
And let me know when you see something in your...
I see it.
Okay. Do you recognize these items as those items you just described as having been removed from the defendant's person?
Yes, I do.
I'd ask the court to admit this exhibit into evidence and to publish it for the jury.
Objection. Relevancy.
It's relevant. We just talk about them. It's your 100 cards that you had on you.
Objection is overruled.
And not even a
Exhibit
wallet.
172 is received. Permission to publish is granted. Thank you.
For the most part, what we were doing down there is obtaining basic booking information. So I confirmed Mr. Brooks' first name, middle name, last name, date of birth. I obtained an emergency contact for him, phone numbers, whether he was working or not, going to school, obtained information about his tattoos, piercings, things of that nature. Personal identification information.
Okay. And who did he say his emergency contact was?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
Mr. Brooks indicated his emergency contact person was Dawn Woods.
And what relation?
He's the only person in his life that he can call in case something happens. Like, I'm a really introverted person. I don't really have a lot of friends and stuff. But I have a couple of people that I know that I can call in case something happens. He relies 100% on his mom.
Relationship was Dawn Woods to him?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
It is Mr. Brooks' mother.
And did you subsequently obtain a phone number for Dawn Woods?
I did.
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Everything is relevant, Brooks, because it revolves around you and the conversation that he had on you. So all these questions are relevant.
What is that phone number, if you recall?
Objection. Relevancy.
414-610-2153.
Now, when you asked the defendant for his name, what did he tell you his name was?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled.
What do you mean relevancy? It's your name. You've been talking about it the entire time. So it's relevant.
I believe he indicated it was Darrell, Darrell, which, in speaking with him, and I can confirm, seeing him today, Darrell Brooks or Darrell Brooks are one and the same. They are the same person.
I mean, it could be an accent thing, like Darrell. It's the same.
Did you become aware of any video evidence that was collected in the downtown area during the parade, capturing a picture of the person who drove the red SUV through the parade?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And you said you saw that?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to ask that Exhibit 120, which has been previously admitted into evidence, be published for the jury.
Go ahead.
Is that the photographic evidence that you had just testified to?
Objection.
Overruled.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And do you recall approximately, was this the car being driven while the parade, in the midst of the parade, after the parade, or before the parade, if you know?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
It's not hearsay. He saw the picture. She's asking about the picture. And I think this is enough. Like, for me, this will be enough to put him away forever. Like, just this picture of him driving the car and the testimony of everyone that saw him, that's enough. I don't know. I get that there needs to be due process. But how much guilty can he be than this?
So the photo we're looking at right here is right in the middle of the parade. So right now, the vehicle is within the parade route while the parade is ongoing.
And were you able to positively identify the driver of that vehicle?
Yes, ma'am, I
Objection,
was.
hearsay.
Overruled.
Who is the driver of that vehicle?
The driver of the vehicle is Darrell Brooks.
Thank you. Approximately how long?
You done with this exhibit? I'm sorry.
I am, yes.
Thank you.
How long were you at the substation?
Probably about 2 to 2.5 hours.
Why were you there versus anywhere else?
So at this particular time, the department was in a transition. Our original building was under construction. The building we were primarily working out of did not have a booking room, did not have a place to take prisoners, so we had to go down to the substation instead of our own actual police department.
Other than collecting the information that you had previously told us about, including emergency contact information, name, things like that, what else were you doing at the substation?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Why did you care, Brooks? Why do you care what they were doing? They didn't have place to put you, and you're gonna make a big deal about it.
Mainly at that time, just waiting for further information as to what was going to be done next. Like I say, the scene was very, very chaotic. I know there were so many victims out there. They didn't even have enough ambulances to transport them all. So officers, it took, I feel like, probably hours to really get it under control. So I was just waiting on more information from Detective Casey, who had been assigned as lead to determine what steps would be appropriate next. Is just being there with Mr. Brooks and making sure he was safe and remained in custody. I didn't have a real good idea due to the chaos of what was going on away from where I was.
Then you had testified about some of the property that was recovered from the defendant, and you stated that one of the
Give me 1 second.
items was a card in the name of Erica Patterson. Do you recall that?
Objection. He did not say who was in the name of.
Sustained. Please rephrase.
Rare sustained objection by Brooks. Yeah, he never said that it was Erica Patterson.
Actually, if we can pull up Exhibit 172 again.
Objection, hearsay.
There's no question yet, but
And if you can zoom in on the Georgia EBT card. Do you later learn of a relationship between the defendant and Erica Patterson?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
It's not hearsay. She's asking what he learned, not what someone told him.
Yes, I did.
And what was that relationship?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
Ms. Patterson was a significant other or girlfriend to Mr. Brooks and mother of one of his children.
Objection, not girlfriend.
Darrell Brooks, you get dumber with every video that I post. What do you mean not girlfriend? We're gonna see your interview. You tell her that she's your girlfriend, that you wanna marry her. He's going with what you told him, and we're gonna hear it from your mouth.
Overruled. The jury will disregard that last statement as Mr. Brooks is not testifying at the moment.
Well, keep it true.
Now, when you made contact,
It's true to him, Brooks. You told him that. If you lied to him, then that's another thing. That's another issue. But you told him that she was your girlfriend. So it's different.
with Darrell Brooks or while you're making contact with Darrell Brooks at the substation, did he complain of any injuries?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name. I
Overruled.
think
You
the
may answer.
prosecution is trying to be funny at this point.
What do you mean they're trying to be funny? They're just calling you by your name. Like that one movie.
Yes, ma'am, he did.
Hold on, I didn't hear the last thing, but I believe it was commentary. So just state your objection and I'll rule on it. It's been overruled. You may answer.
Yes, ma'am, he did. He complained of two injuries, one to his knee, but primarily and mostly of an injury to what was his right shoulder.
Did he say how that occurred?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, he did. Mr. Brooks told us that his shoulder was injured when he was arrested, indicating the arresting officers slammed him to the ground.
Did you have the opportunity at any point in this investigation to review body camera footage from Officer Rebecca Carpenter?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was at the residence where the defendant was taken into custody?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Did you see any unlawful use of force on the defendant during that time?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. The witness.
It's not hearsay, Brooks. He saw the video with his own eyes. It's not like the officer Carpenter, not the detective, told him that. He saw him with the body cam video.
This may answer.
No, ma'am. In fact, there was no force used at all. Mr. Brooks was given verbal directions by officers to get down onto the ground, and he did so entirely on his own power.
Based upon his complaints, however, was the decision made to transport him for medical clearance?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you transport the defendant?
Waukesha Memorial Hospital.
Do you know approximately what time?
And like many other criminals, they claim that they're injured so they can waste time. It's basically that. They know that if they claim an injury, the officers need to take them to the hospital, and they just want to waste the most time that they have. It's pointless.
Time you arrived there?
I believe, I don't remember the exact time, it was sometime, I believe it was between about 8 and 9 p.m.
Upon entering, who was with you and Mr. Brooks?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name. Is leading the witness.
Overruled as to both. You may answer.
Detective Ben Stern.
Okay. Was he partnering with you in this part of the investigation?
Yes, ma'am, he was.
Okay. And when you entered the hospital, what observations, if any, did you make?
Entering the hospital, we escorted Mr. Brooks, to a room so that he could receive medical clearance. I know there were some individuals from the parade that were injured in nearby rooms. I didn't really see many of them, but I knew they were close by. So we escorted Mr. Brooks into a room, trying to keep away from the victim so as to not make the incident any more tension-filled than it already was.
How busy
And this is what makes it more disgusting than anything else. Like, the hospital was overflowing with people. Everyone was needing to get there, to go to this hospital, to transfer him to the next hospital. And Darrell Brooks is right there, taking time of one of the doctors or nurses or whoever took care of him. Like, taking one person away from those that are really injured just to fake his shoulder injury. It's so disgusting.
was it at the hospital when you brought Mr. Brooks in?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Extremely. There were victims due to the mass amount of casualties, many of which, survived but still needed extensive medical attention. It was very busy. Many of the victims were taken to alternate hospitals because Waukesha Memorial could not handle the amount of patients that were coming in.
Now, approximately how long did you spend with Mr. Brooks at Waukesha Memorial Hospital?
Objection, I was consent to being called that name.
Overruled.
Probably about 4 hours.
Is that in addition to the time that you would have spent with him at the substation?
Yes, ma'am.
Leading.
Overruled.
What was his demeanor?
Extremely calm. If I would describe it, I guess, to put it in context for the court, very similar to mine right now. The conversations I had with him, as far as getting his identification info and such, he talked to me as calmly as I'm speaking now. Based on his body language, his tone of voice, his attitude, you'd have never known he had done something or was in custody for having done something so serious.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we're gonna see when we get to the interview. That it's really incredible how he just distanced himself from the event. Like, since they are not telling him exactly what they're going for, he's not gonna admit to anything. He thinks that he can trick them into letting him go, and then he can escape to Canada or something. But yeah, he thought that he was smarter than the cops.
Did he ask you why he was in custody at the substation?
Yes.
And what did you tell him?
At that point, I simply told Mr. Brooks it was a loitering investigation and possible disorderly conduct.
Now, you just testified that he was a suspect in the Parade mass casualty incident. Why didn't you tell him that?
At that time, I didn't want to...
Look, you go back a little bit and see the eyes. The eyes of Darrell Brooks just open all the way, because this is something really interesting to him.
Make Mr. Brooks, one, overly anxious. Two, there was a lot of information. Initially, I still didn't know. It was initially, as part of the chaos, I believe at one point we were actually looking for as many as four people. So I didn't know how deeply he was or was not involved. It was believed that and known that he was somehow involved and knew something. So before I even addressed those issues, one, I wanted to make sure I knew all the facts and had as much information as I could, more than anything for the integrity of the case.
When you talk about the integrity of the case and your discussions with him, did the defendant appear to know what was going on around him? When I say that, I guess, was he aware of where he was, who you were, things like that?
Objection, speculative.
As to the way it was rephrased in the second half of that, I will allow it. You may answer.
Yes, he did. He seemed, he was alert. When asked questions, like, for example, about phone number, his emergency contact, the answers were consistent with the question asked. He did not have slurred speech. He did not show any signs of being under the influence or in mental crisis.
Did your opinion change at any time while you were with him on November 21st?
Objection, vague.
Overruled. You may answer.
So now that Leslie is asking at any time, he thinks that is vague. But all the 100 times that he asked to other witnesses that it was completely fine.
No, it did not.
Now, during the 4 hours that you were at the hospital, were you, did he continue to complain about shoulder pain?
Yes, he did.
Were his actions always consistent with his expression of the pain in the shoulder?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
No, they were not.
Can you describe for the jury what you mean by that?
Objection, speculative. How can he know how somebody's body is feeling?
All these questions are framed in a manner that it seemed Brooks, not that he knew that. It seems like it's not the same that he knows that. That's the difference.
Overruled. He may answer, given as long as he answers with his understanding.
Yeah.
Or what
Observations is what I was saying.
Observation.
Yes.
Thank you. I think that's what you said. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So Mr. Brooks, when he would speak to me throughout the evening, he would move his arms about, he'd put them out to his side, he'd move them back and forth, he'd raise them up and down. He was talking about being in severe pain, but I would describe the way he'd move his arms and such as basic body mannerisms and basic interpersonal interactions. His hands, his arms, everything moved completely normally when we would speak. There was no favoring of that shoulder or anything to indicate, other than what he was saying through physical action, that there was any type of injury there that I observed.
Now, at some point, I strike that. During this time that you were with him and he was getting medically cleared, first of all, did he get medically cleared?
Yes, he did.
Objection, speculative.
He didn't need to be.
It's not a speculative, Brooks. The doctors told him that he was clear. If you weren't, you were still be in the hospital. But also, pain is really subjective. Some people have higher tolerance to pain than others. Like I hit my shin on the steps of the bus yesterday, and I can still feel it, and I still walk a little funny. But if that just happened and you're in such pain as you claim that you are on your shoulder, you're not gonna move it at all.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
Do you need any treatment while at the hospital?
No, he was checked out. The doctor came in and looked at his shoulder. I do not believe any medications were given. There may have been, I believe they took an x-ray to check it, but he was ultimately cleared and turned over to police custody.
And during the time that you were with him while he was getting medically cleared, what type of conversation were you having? Was it general conversation, or were you talking to him about the loitering?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
The conversation was general. Mr. Brooks asked several times if I would give him more information as to why he was in custody, and I would continue to tell him it was for the loitering violation. But the conversations were mostly, we talked about sports. The Green Bay Packers had played that day. We talked about the game. I remember him telling me that baseball was his favorite sport, and things of that nature. He was upset that the Packers had lost the game. So it was general conversation, not related to why he was specifically in custody.
At some point, did you decide that you were going to try to talk to the defendant about at least the loitering incident?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Relevancy.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Do you know approximately what time that took place?
11:04 p.m.
And how did you approach this interview? You've now been with Mr. Brooks for maybe 5 hours, would that be fair?
Yes.
How did you decide to approach this interview with him?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
And this is one of the things that Darrell resents more of Carpenter, because he hates him now, but he see him as a friend. He trusted Detective Carpenter, and he was just doing his job to approach him and make him comfortable so he could talk about what happened.
I just explained to Mr. Brooks that I simply wanted to speak with him about why he was in the neighborhood where he was discovered that night, what was going on, what led to him being there, and that I was just looking to have answers to that if he was willing to provide them.
And was Mr. Brooks in a room that had the ability to record the conversation that you had with him?
Objection, I don't consent to being called on the line.
Overruled. You may answer.
No, not in the manner we would if we were at our typical police department. So our police department would have a camera mounted in the corner that would record audio and video. They did have a security camera, but it had no audio capability.
So what did you do?
I utilized my department-issued phone and recorded the audio of the interview that way.
So you had the audio on your phone and the visual, or there was a visual recording. Is that true?
Yes, so the audio was on my phone and then the visual recording was through the hospital security system.
Bless you. So they didn't marry up with one another, correct? I mean, in terms of, I should strike that. You couldn't play the audio with the visual. They're two different recordings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you will have to sync it with a software. It's really easy to do. But yeah, you can do that. Most people do that. When you see YouTubers that had a little microphone in this thing, I want one of those. I want to make the vlogs, but that's the other thing. When they just match the audio to the video.
Who else was with you during this interview?
At that time, Detective Ben Stern from my department was with me, as well as two federal agents from the FBI, Agent Mary Davidson and Agent Jeremy, I believe it's Pilichowski.
Why were they there?
So the FBI came involved in the investigation early on because we were not certain at that point whether or not this was a terrorist incident.
So how did it work? Were they in the room and then Mr. Brooks was brought into the room, or how did that work?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name and is leading the witness.
Overruled as to the name, sustained as to the form of the question.
How did you all get into the same room?
So I was in the room waiting for Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks was brought from another room by Detective Stern. At this point, the audio recording on my phone was already running. I believe the two FBI agents were with me in the room, and then, like I say, Mr. Brooks was escorted in by Detective Stern.
And I think it's really important that the recording was on before it even began. Like everything that they say from the moment that he got there, it's recorded. So he cannot say that they threatened him, that they cannot claim that he says something that he didn't.
Did you introduce yourselves? Well, you had been with Mr. Brooks previously, correct?
Objection.
Yes, I had.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, I had.
Okay. Had he been introduced to Detective Stern already?
Yes, he had.
Okay. And how about the two FBI agents?
It was at that point that they introduced themselves to Mr. Brooks.
What was his reaction to that when they introduced themselves?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
I'm very surprised. He said the word FBI, in the form of a question. I could tell his tone was very surprised. It wasn't as calm as he had been. He seemed concerned, uneasy, and within about a minute after stating that, he questioned the agents further as to whether they were really FBI agents, and he was surprised to see them there, and he had never actually seen an FBI agent before, so he was definitely surprised, and I could tell he was uncomfortable.
Did you record the entire conversation you had with the defendant?
Yes, at that point, all that is on recording. At that point, yes.
And have you had the opportunity to review that recording prior to today's date?
I have.
I would like to admit Exhibit 81 for the
Objection.
court. It is the audio interview of the defendant that took place on November 21st, 2021. It's previously been addressed by this court.
Objection.
Remind me how long it is again.
Your Honor, the entire video is 25 minutes approximately. I'm asking to play from 4 minutes and 25 seconds to 14 minutes and 25 seconds approximately. Well, it would be 10 minutes.
I presume you'll have questions regarding that once you play it.
Correct.
All right, given that it's just before 5 o'clock, I'm going to stop for the day. We can pick up with this tomorrow.
And that's gonna do it. We went through 5 p.m. today, 961 objections in 8 days. So he's over 100 already per day. And tomorrow is gonna be way, way worse. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. And remember that you're great, that you matter, and that I'm really happy that you're here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.